Hello, my fellow healers. My name is Adina, and I'm that healing girl. And in this pick a card reading, we're going to be talking about the energies that can come up around this specific day of Juneteenth. This is a Juneteenth 2025 reading. And this reading is timeless, so it can be read during any Juneteenth. But I am channeling the energies of 2025 in the moment. And again, so this reading is for anybody who feels drawn to it, but it's specifically geared towards, my 92%, my 82% people from that are African American, from the African diaspora in particular, and especially those that are foundational Black Americans as well, who are drawn to this reading. And anybody who was affected by the transatlantic slave trade. So if you feel drawn to this reading because you're an ally or you're another impressed indigenous group, etc., feel free to pick a card, but just know that the energies are going to be specifically geared towards people from the African diaspora. So without further ado, this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And let's get into it. Let's see what comes up. Let's get into it. Okay, pile number 1. It's interesting. So I choose these. This is Auralite 20. I believe it's called Auralite 23. But this is one that when I got it, this Auralite 23 is typically lighter color, like almost a lavender color, but I got this particular one. The lady told me that it's more grounding and more connected, to the root chakra. And I decided to use these 2 stones, and I realized after I used them that they kind of literally fit together. It's interesting because I brought these in a giant it was in a big area where there was many different stones. I chose these 2, and interestingly enough, I never noticed they fit together. So we're going to be, of course, reading the tarot first. The messages are going to be specifically targeted towards people who are celebrating Juneteenth right now that are from the African diaspora. So let's see what comes up. 4 of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. The Star. Page of Swords. The Tower. What I'm picking up right away in this reading, particularly with the 4 of Cups in reverse, is that this particular group of people, you are no longer willing to sit in a state of apathy. You, with this 4 of Cups energy, you are ready to take action on the things specifically that challenge African people from the African diaspora, and particularly people in America, because this is Juneteenth. So a lot of people that either immigrated here, that are African American or from the African diaspora, or foundational Black Americans that live here. You are no longer willing to take whatever is given to you, whatever is handed out to you. And right now, with this 4 of Cups, you're sort of withdrawing. You're withdrawing from the fight after everything that has happened in November. You're feeling very disillusioned and let down and betrayed, to be honest, because a great number of people in this country voted against your interests. And you know that you voted for everybody's interest, for the interest of everybody's community, and you are feeling extremely disheartened from this. And so you are taking some time to consider how it is you will next move into move into the constant fight. The constant fight. There's a book that I referenced on my Instagram. I am that healing girl. If you look up on my Instagram, it's in the info box as well. It's called Black Fatigue. It's by Mary Frances Winters, and it's a book that kind of was kind of co-opted by bad actors recently, and that phrase was co-opted by them. But really, what it means is the fatigue that a lot of Black people feel around institutionalized systemic racism, and how it sort of how it like impacts, not even sort of, how it impacts every facet of your everyday life, and how tiring it can get to continue to stand up for yourself and stand up for justice. And it feels like, for you, it feels like you feel like, why am I even doing this anymore? Honestly, like that is the vibe I'm getting from you with this Four of Cups in reverse. You are reassessing your reason, your why, and reassessing your strategies of how you show up in the world to fight for your rights, because honestly, you're like not sure if the way that you were doing it is working anymore, and you're feeling disillusioned by a lot of communities that had claimed allyship that you feel have let you down. This pile number one. And I'm like, I'm channeling like the energy that I get when I look into this pile is like one big sigh. And with this tower energy here, you're okay, right? Like the world could be burning around you. This is like Kendrick Lamar energy. We're going to be, you feel like we're going to be all right. We've been through so many tower moments, and you're almost welcoming this tower moment in a way. This tower moment that is happening right now, as we know, on the political scene, a lot of DEI initiatives were reversed that had been won in the community during 2020 and 2021. A lot of those are being reversed, right? And all of the protesting that so many people did, while it was helpful to draw attention to the situation, a lot of the corporations, i.e. looking at you, Target, and a bunch of other ones, that had committed to change and committed to being more diverse and more inclusive, have since, in the current administration, pulled back their support. And so a lot of the community, and you in particular, are agreeing with them, feel like you've been cut adrift, like you've been betrayed, and like once again you put your trust into the establishment to be an ally, and they let you down. Yeah. With this Queen of Wands in reverse, you're being like, so it's the Queen of Wands is somebody, she could be a leader, she spearheads things in her community, philanthropic. I'm totally getting that word mixed up right now, but philanthropic, philanthropically. She's big in politics. You might have been a leader, you might have been an activist, getting strong female energy. It could be any gender, but I'm just getting the strong, like, boss bee energy. So you might be a mover and shaker in activism, and you might even be feeling let down by a lot of the coalitions you have developed in your career. Maybe you are a diversity, equity, and inclusion person, or you were. Maybe you worked in those kind of departments. You were, if you were someone that had up corporate divisions for things like this, and now you feel really disillusioned, and like a lot of it was performative, and like it wasn't helping you, to be honest. So you are revising your approach. You're not giving up on the fight, but you're definitely tired. You're definitely kind of out of steam right now. And you're definitely of the mind that you're okay with watching things burn a little bit. Like you're okay with with just letting the world implode a little bit while you find your center. And that's fine, to be honest. And your feelings are totally valid, to be honest, because of the centuries of abuse, really, that African American community and the African diaspora has endured under colonialism and systemic racism. And so you are being very careful about now with this Queen of Wands about where you put your and where you invest your energy, because Wands is energy as well, right? Fire. Your how you show up with passion and fire in the world. You're being very, very cautious now, and you're appraising a lot of the organizations that you support. Yeah. Now with the Star, you do still have hope in your heart. You do still have hope that you can change things. You do still believe that change is possible. But with this Page of Swords again, you're starting to become more discerning. You're at the beginning of becoming more discerning, and you're checking your thoughts, because swords rule, your mental capacity. You are checking your thoughts. You are checking your and how your thoughts, how your perceived situation, how your thoughts affect that. For instance, you might have thought that a certain situation was one way in the community or in the struggle, and now you're reevaluating all of that. And it makes, to be honest, it makes so much sense. Yeah. And you are starting to look with this Page of Cups. You're starting to look at the ways in which you have put yourself out there that have not served you, and you're also using your discernment to cut off certain modes that you thought were effective for activism, but they're not anymore. So this pile is one of your, to sum it up, you are both exhausted and you are reevaluating. Let's see. Emotions, yes. Alchemy, processing, sensitivity. You are processing your emotional response to the situation, honoring the flow of all your emotion. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be disillusioned, to be sad. It says, how does my body want to move today? When we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. The new elevated state becomes a channel for our energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? It's time to try something new. How does your body want to move? Listen and joyfully do. And I talked about this a lot. It's like the ability today, in Juneteenth in particular, is about celebrating, right? Celebrating our wins, celebrating the challenges that we've been through. And so this card is telling you to dance, essentially, to dance in the darkness, right? To move and to find joy in how your body moves, even in this time. Like, don't get stuck in the apathy energy, but do acknowledge it. Nourish your body. Yeah. Nourish your body. Make sure you're getting enough meals. I know this is a stressful time in the world right now. And this might be, maybe take yourself out for Juneteenth, right? Give yourself a lovely meal, maybe some soul food or a meal from one of the African diaspora cultures can be very nourishing, right? This crystal is fluorite. It can range from pale green to deep purple. Often it's both at the same time. It occurs all over the place and is a good vibe when you are all over the place. Who needs it? The perpetually distracted, anyone with a vision worth sticking to. Where to put it, wherever you find yourself constantly tempted to check your phone, i.e. anywhere where you have Wi-Fi access, when to use it. When you want to take an uninterrupted 20 minutes to meditate, an hour to finish a book, or a lifetime to concentrate on your unique calling here on earth, sharpen your focus. Yes, this is my activist crowd. And one of the self-care messages is to take care of yourself, to exercise, to get the meals, to hydrate, to pay attention to your emotions, because you're going to need to do all of this for the work that's coming ahead. With the star card, you still are retaining your hopeful vision. You are still moving in the struggle, but right now you are rightfully taking a moment, taking a beat to meditate on how it is that will best serve the goal of getting more rights, and the goal of diversity and equity and inclusion, and the goal of social justice, how you are willing to move in order to get that goal better accomplished in the moment, because as we know, it's a constant struggle, and it's something we are constantly working towards, equity and equality in this country in particular and in the world. Many people in the African diaspora across the world are also working towards that. And I'm going to read a little bit from the emotions card, just to give a little bit more context. But that is the message basically for you. Let's see. I'm looking for emotions. Here we go. It's on page 128. It says fluidity, alchemy, processing, and sensitivity. My emotions are honored. My process is healing is your affirmation. And I'm just going to hold this up. Emotion, energy in motion. Emotions must be allowed to express, flow, and transmute, not be neglected, overflowing, or left stagnant. Navigating emotions can be tricky, but above all else, they must be honored, they must be processed, and they must be respected. You are going through a lot right now. You are feeling a lot of betrayal and anger about what happened over the election, and about, as particularly if you are female presenting or identifying, you feel betrayed as a Black woman, because there's a lot of attacks right now on the reputation and the value of Black women, particularly because one of the most powerful Black women in the U.S., Kamala Harris, was treated so terribly during the election, and that has had a psychological impact on you and many other Black women, not only in America but across the African diaspora. So take your time to process. Give yourself some self-care. The message is you are not completely out of the fight, but you are reevaluating, and you are okay with the tower moment that is happening right now. Especially if a lot of people are going through what they call the FAFO stage. You're okay with that. You are focusing on you at the moment and your health, and definitely do that. And you're focusing on new strategies moving forward, since a lot of the ones that were being implemented from 2020 to 2024 really just were betrayed, to be honest. And that is what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope that this reading resonates with you. If it does, please like and subscribe. Send me a heart emoji in the comments. Feel free to comment. Pile number 1 in particular, you might have some things to get off your chest, and that's fine. Wishing you all the best, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. Let's see what is in store for you. Again, this reading is particularly for people that are foundational Black Americans, my FBAs, or in the African diaspora around the world, especially affected by colonialism, which the entire diaspora of Africa is pretty much. And for African Americans, African diaspora, this is for you. Pile number 2, let's see what comes up. As always, I'm going to read the tarot first. Knight of Cups. Queen of Swords in reverse. Wu Wei. Wu Wei is something that I do know from Jin Shin acupuncture. This is actually not even a tarot card, but this deck has a mixture of tarot and other informational cards to provide context. Wu Wei is the middle way. It's about finding balance. Six of Cups. Yes. You're remembering, this pile is remembering the lessons of your ancestors. Ten of Swords. Yeah. You're also healing ancestral wounds. I'm getting with the Knight of Cups, you're filling up your cup. You are healing your heart chakra. There might be a lot of wounds within your ancestral DNA that happened. Some of them happened before you were born, conceived, or maybe even in past lives. You are also, with the Six of Cups, which is the card of nostalgia, remembering the lessons of your ancestors. You are learning from them, from their mistakes. And yeah, I'm getting this with this Ten of Swords. You're feeling, and with the Ten of Swords energy, you're feeling quite sensitive. Like anything could set you off emotionally. Yeah. Anything could set you off emotionally. And you are breaking out of any kind of illusions. Some of you are struggling with, one of the things that some of you are struggling with is acceptance of who you are. And this gets deep. So a lot, in the African diaspora, we have colorism, we have, and we also have the intersectionality of gender identity. With this Shiva Lingam, it's about balancing the masculine and feminine energies. And as we know, masculine and feminine is on a spectrum. Some of you might be gender non-binary or gender non-conforming, and you are trying to balance that with what is often very traditional ancestral beliefs of masculinity and femininity. With this Wei Wu Wei card, means finding the middle way. That means that not to, what you want to do is not only focus on your everyday life, but also focus on your emotional healing, but not get consumed by either. Not focus so much on your everyday life and on the struggle that's happening, which, of course, for African Americans and people in the African diaspora has to do with racism. Of course, there's no way we can get around it because it affects everything, everything in our lives. And so, you're balancing that, showing up to your job, showing up to the world, showing up to your causes and the things that you care about with your emotional health. With this Queen of Swords, in the past you were not discerning about where you put your mental energy, and you now are becoming more. Yeah. You, with this in reverse, you have let some people tell you or decide your worth for you, whether or not, and this doesn't necessarily have to be gender non-conforming person, but I feel like some of you are. But I also feel like you've been told by society, and you've internalized some of the societal messages of things like colorism. Maybe you feel like you are not good enough because you are darker complected, or or maybe you're holding those types of views yourself and you're struggling to rid yourself of them. There's a lot of different views that will affect your self-esteem, essentially, and they're tied to racism. Yeah. I don't know, I'm getting colorism can be an issue. Maybe somebody in your family is like, they have that old, if you're, darker than a brown paper bag scenario, that you are not worthy. Yeah, or that you are less worthy. And so you're healing from a lot of those emotional wounds. You're also healing from, some of you are healing from working in jobs where you were not valued or not paid as much. Yeah. And with this King of Night, it's a Knight of Cups, I should say, you're moving into and towards situations that are, sorry, I'm like trying to balance this out. You're moving towards situations that are more healthy and more healing for you, though. And if you're not moving towards them, you need to, or they might be coming in for you. I'm getting that. I'm getting to lean into ancestors. I'm also getting that you might get some messages in your dreams from people that have passed on, grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, you know, different aspects of your family, the lessons they have learned. I'm getting the message to go back into old yearbooks, maybe to, and this is actually happening to me too. I'm actually researching my family tree, so you might be drawn to research your family tree. You might be drawn to ask family members about stories of what happened back in the day and what your family members did to survive hard conditions of working and social conditions that might have arose due to race. And yeah, I feel like some of you are going to research and do a deep dive into history, or maybe watch documentaries about the Black experience, so that you can remember the times when the Black community has been challenged and has held fast or has made wins. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that vibe. Yeah. And with this Knight of Wands, and this is with this Knight of Wands, I'm getting that you are breaking down any false narratives or false information that you might have been fed about what it is to be, a Black person. Any propaganda, anything that says that you can't achieve, that you can't be who you want to be, or that you can't be more than what society is telling you you should be. Call back your energy to you. Some of you, with these ancestral wounds, some of you might need to do some ancestral healing as well, some soul retrieval, and you can do that, either get a professional person that specializes in soul retrieval, or you can simply go into meditation, and you can burn some sage and incense, and you can just imagine any areas where your energy has been pulled back from you. Just hold space in your head, and if a person comes up, send some love to that situation, and at the same time establish your own sovereignty over your energy and say, hey, I'm going to pull back the energy that you have sucked out, that is mine, not yours, and you don't have any control over that energy. Call back your energy from situations where you have dealt with racism as well. Those can leave wounds and scars on your psyche. You don't necessarily only have to call back your energy from people. It can be places, things, or situations as well. And so I'm just going to look at this card real quick. Yeah. Yeah, I think some of you are doing deep dives of ancestral healing for sure. You are healing and repairing the wounds, not just of the racism that your ancestors have experienced by learning about what it is and moving into that, but you are also cleansing the wounds that you have experienced from racism in this reality, in this lifetime. Let's see real quick. Trying to get to the energy one. Which page is that one on? Okay, 146. That might be the last one. Give me 1 second. I'm getting to it. Okay, I'm going to put it up there so that you can take a picture if you need to. Screenshot it, I should say. Call back your energy. Power or a depletion fatigue. Call back my energy and power to me. The garden, the nature witch. She who blooms. Giving yourself the chance to flourish means allowing yourself that energy. This card is a sign that it would be empowering for you to assess where you have been channeling your energy to what, to whom, and how much. You may feel scattered or fatigued, or you're placing your focus on too many things, people, or problems at once. You may not have enough power to feel the things you actually want. Yes. Also, it says you could be drained from worrying about petty or insignificant things. Tend to your personal energy garden. I feel like some of you might be like exhausted from watching the news and social media at this time. And you might just call your energy back from that. It might throw you off. Not that you don't need to stay informed, but that hearing so many negative messages all the time can be very discouraging for you and can weigh your energy down. Let's see, what else could this mean? There's always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today before stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn this moment, or is a pattern that you're ready to let go, a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Yes, this goes back to the aspect of healing your soul wounds, asking yourself, what are your limiting beliefs? What are your fears? What are your limiting beliefs about yourself as an individual, especially those based on race? I don't know why colorism is coming up, but I feel like those things definitely play a part in the dysphoria, as well as limiting beliefs about male and female roles. That's coming up for me. Hum, sing, or make some music. Yes. Oh, yeah. Music might be a healing balm for you, pile number 2, because you are going through a lot of stress with, basically, not only are you facing any limiting beliefs about yourself and that others might have thrown on you, but you are also healing from some deep wounds that might be coded from your DNA. They might be ancestral from past lives. Yeah, going all the way back to slavery, to be honest. You're probably healing from some deep ancestral wounds. And again, connecting with that energy will help to heal you. Working to send love and acceptance to those areas that you feel broken in will help you. Let's see, this one is vanadinite. What it is, playful geometry and fiery vanadinite. A mining byproduct often sourced from America's Southwest, forms in orange to red hexagonal shaped crystals that are when lead or oxidizes. Who needs it? Those lacking self-discipline. Vanadinite has a high lead content, so definitely don't put it in your mouth. When to use it. When it's time to live in the moment, when you are the prime audience for a motivational speech, whether it's hard work, making art, or just a blissed out moment, free from the mind's ongoing commentary and energizing meditation with vanadinite can help knock down whatever stands between you and your happy place. Break through your big blocks. Yes. You are moving. As you break through these limiting beliefs, I think crystal like vanadinite will help you as you move through these limiting beliefs and like blocks to you. Also, some of you might be devotees of Ganesha. If so, definitely use that energy to break through any emotional blocks that you might have, to clearing out the energy that is destructive, that was put on you by perceptions of society telling you what you can and cannot do, what you can and can be, and pulling the energy back to yourself, calling back the energy that is yours so that you can move ahead with more confidence, more healed and free. Yeah, that is the reading that I have for you. Pile number 2 is very specific, I think, to some people. So if you do resonate with this reading, I hope you like and subscribe, comment with the heart emoji, and I will see you in the next next one, pile number 2. And I really hope that this helped you. I really hope that you gain cohesion, that you ground yourself, and that you get the healing that you need. I'll see you next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Let's see what comes up for you. We have this tiger's eye, which is definitely a crystal that is when you need strength and when you need boundaries. Yeah. Let's see what comes up for you. Pile number 3. Page of Cups in reverse. Queen of Discs, which is Pentacles in reverse. The World. 5 of Cups. Judgment in reverse. Strength. 3 of Wands. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. I feel like you're feeling depleted in a way. So the Page of Cups in reverse. You are... I see that you've held up, you've given a lot of your time and energy. Yeah. And some of you might want to go back to pile number 1, because it's honestly, this is giving me some of the vibes of pile number 1, but not all of the vibes of pile number 1. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like with this Page of Cups is telling you to be careful of who you trust for some reason. And I think that has to do with the fact of, not that there's a person that you don't trust, it's that you've lost trust in humanity a little bit with this World card here. You've lost trust in humanity with this Judgment card upside down. I feel like you feel like the world is not a just place. It's not a just place. The people that and you're not wrong in many ways. The people that are supposed to be held to account aren't being held to account. That's what's coming through in my mind. You're definitely disillusioned with the state of the world. The state of the world right now to you feels hopeless. Yeah, it feels hopeless. It feels destructive. Yeah. And you're feeling with this Judgment card in reverse that you don't have a lot of control over these events of the world. And because of that, with this 5 of Cups card, you're in a despair situation. But 5 of Cups is a reminder that even though things looking really bad, there are still some things to be grateful for. And that is, in essence, one of the largest lessons I feel like our ancestors have taught us, and that the entire Black struggle is about, is that even if things are going bad, there are still some things you can be happy about. And the 5 of Cups card is that card. It's the card of finding ways to be grateful for the joy that you do have and for the blessings that you do have in your life, even if things are crazy at the moment. And again, you're not wrong. The Judgment card is essentially telling you that these things, and the World card, the major arcana cards, are telling you that the things that are happening in the world are out of your control. And for a lot of you, the solution is to lean into your higher self, is to lean into spirit, and is to lean into a higher power in order for you to get some kind of a balance, some kind of a strength back. With this Three of Wands, I'm getting that you will feel better, because Wands represents months. You'll start to get more equanimity and more balance in the next 3 months. You'll start to consolidate yourself. A lot of you are going through financial loss. Maybe you lost jobs because of this current political administration. And so you are trying to figure out what to do in that sense. In the next 3 months, you will start to formulate a plan, a financial plan to help yourself. Yeah, to help yourself. Because this Queen of Pentacles being upside down next to this Three of Wands is giving me that vibe. Yeah. And some of you might be social media influencers. That comes up a lot with me at the World and with this Judgment card in reverse. Maybe you're using your channel to speak out about what's happening and to speak out about how unjust you feel things are in the world right now, and about how tired you are. And that's fine. That's a way of processing. The Strength card in reverse is also giving me indicators about essentially that your energy is low. Yeah, and that's a situation that a lot of us in the diaspora, a lot of Black people right now are finding themselves in the situation. A lot of people in the world in general, but specifically, you might be feeling this energy around Juneteenth right now. Yeah, and you're trying to. One of the things you're trying to do with the Strength card is wrap your mind around everything that's happening in the world at this moment. And I'm not going to lie, it feels, with the Strength card in reverse, it feels insurmountable. So the only thing you can do as you gain equanimity is to embrace this Five of Cups energy. Again, we'll see these. There's 2 cups that are full and 3 cups that have been spilled. And essentially, it's almost like the crying over spilled milk vibe. So there's that spilled milk. There's nothing we can do. Like we lost in November 5th. DEI initiatives have been largely, demolished in many ways. There are many protections that are being turned back right now, and they will disproportionately affect the African American community in this country and the Black community. And they are affecting people in the African diaspora as well, as funding is getting cut from things that will fund various concerns in other countries like Africa, right? So this is valid. We're not saying that's not valid and don't be sad, but we are saying that in order to start rebuilding, you have to start looking at the cups that you still have left and rebuilding your strength and energy from there. Yeah, because it has to start somewhere. But it's going to probably be about another 3 months with this Three of Wands card before things start to look up in your emotional world, pile number 3. Because you're going through it right now, and again, this is not something that anybody can gaslight you on. You can't spiritual bypass this, but you can lean into a higher power to give you some strength, or you can lean into, if you don't believe in spirituality in that sense, you can lean into your higher self and your intuition. Let's see. Flower child, momentum, creativity, action. I hope that over everyone else. You learn to make yourself proud. Let's see what this says. And I think that, again, this is hearkening to this Five of Cups energy, where right now you don't feel, you feel pretty hopeless right now, to be honest, about yourself and the state of the world and how everything's going. This card, Flower Child, Self-Pollination, Momentum, Creativity, Action, Affirmation Spell. I am the beekeeper of my own garden that grows. I'm going to let you screenshot this. It is so easy to accidentally live for others for their approval, praise, and validation. The ego thrives off this. It is easier for it to exist and make choices that way, but now more than ever, now's the time to focus, to take your focus off the wants of others and start focusing on what pulls your heart and soul. Even if it doesn't seem right, what does your spirit call you to do? What is it that you really want to do, to feel? Ironically, perhaps channeling your energy there will end up being the best service to others, not just desperate attempts to satisfy that come from lack, comfortableness, and scarcity. Yes, yes. So one of the things you can do to help yourself is to figure out what it is you really want right now in this moment, and to really listen to your intuition. We talked about that. Listen to what your soul is saying that you really want, and not what other people think you should want. It says, get clear on what areas you want to see your bees, energy, and focus go to. Take action and take the first step on any projects or ideas you have. Even if they seem super small, you have momentum. You will be surprised at how much flow and power you seem to have right now. Write your projects or ideas down and organize them. Put them into actionable steps. Break them down into bite-sized pieces and then eat them up. You've got this, Queen Bee. Yes. Yes, for sure. You might feel really sad right now, especially regarding to your finances. But I think that is one of the biggest messages from this reading as well, is to, you can even make a pros and cons list, a list of all the things that you don't want, a list of all the things that you do want. And from there, you can write down small things you can do every day in order to make them happen. And this will help you get more control. You can't change what's happening in the world around you, but you can change how you react to it and how you show up in it. What if it was easy? Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be hard. Call on the universe, the stars. It's what we were saying, the angels and all their powers. Find the solution. Would you take the next step if it were easy? It's time to expect ease. Call in grace and receive guidance. You are supported. List 10 possible ideas for your soul's calling. Lean into it. Lean into ease. It's here. You just have to say yes to it. Yes. Yes. What if it was easy? And we're not saying that anything in the world situation right now is easy. But what they're saying is, what if the things that you are reaching towards, what if it's easy to reach towards the things that you want despite what's happening in the world right now? That's the energy, I think. And for you to lean into more ease, for you to bring ease into your reality. I think that pile number 3, more than anyone else, you really need to embrace a soft life energy as much as possible. Yes, move towards your goals. Try to rectify your financial situation. But as much as possible, where can you lean into a soft life energy? Can you burn candle? Can you meditate? Can you do yoga? Can you put on something soft and fuzzy and listen to some beautiful music or a favorite cozy audiobook? What can you do to soothe your soul? Can you read books of poetry? Things to bring you into a softer state, because you've been dealing with a lot of harsh energy that's coming in from the world. A lot of you need to step away from really crazy social media aspects or news cycles for the moment, not completely, not shutting them off or bypassing or anything like that, but for the moment that you feel overwhelmed. Look at this. Take in pleasant moments. This is just what we were talking about. I mean, I can't even, like, these cards are just coming together so amazingly at this point. Let's see. Danbarite. Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful crystal. Danbarite is. I have one. What is it like? The beta blockers in grandma's medicine cabinet? Danbarite, twinkling effervescent energy takes the edge off with serious feel-good vibes. Emo, who needs it? Emo's goth, buttoned-up white-collar stress cases. Where to put it? Wherever you want to do some elevated thinking, feeling, dreaming, being. When to use it? When the daily grind has ground you into the pavement. When you feel like launching into space but lack astronaut training. Vibing with Danverite can help divert your busy mind away from its pesky rules orientation. There's somewhere else up there. Flip on the high beams and explore. Turn on your electric light. Yes, yes, yes. Danverite will be, and it's a very soothing energy, honestly. What else? Diamond. What it is. Set in engagement rings, tiaras, and iced out chains. This girl's best friend of gemstones is the hardest naturally occurring mineral on planet Earth. Diamonds are more than just status symbols encrusted in the rich. On the rich, their radiant energy clears away spiritual cloud cover so you can bask in the purest light. Who needs it? Who doesn't? Where to put it? Wherever you like to bling. When to use it? When you've just got to keep it icy. When you want to make your intentions perfectly clear. When it's time to beam your own unique light, the darkness for all to see. Own it with a diamond. Shine your brightest. Yes. So a lot of you have been dimming your shine with very, very sort of oppressive energy and emotions. And one of the ways you can release a lot of this heavy oppressive energy is to move into softer spaces, maybe some rose quartz, counteract some of the struggle and the striving that you have been doing. Also, a gratitude journal would be great for you. Waking up and just waking up and looking at the sun in the morning and acknowledging the beauty in the world. Because right now you have been bogged down with so many messages of how terrible the world is and how bad things are going. And it's not wrong, but this reading is saying that you need to lean into the softer, brighter, more joyous energy at this time. And during Juneteenth, take some time, maybe hang out with your family, people that nurture you, grandparents, have a nice meal, dance, listen to some music. Yes, for sure. And bring and call yourself, come back to yourself. Pile number 3. Rediscover the joy of living. Yeah. Even with all the crazy things happening in the world. And that is the message that I have for you. I hope this resonates with you. If it does, please like, subscribe, and comment below with a heart emoji. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.